Fertilizers are very important in the agricultural industry. And while they do promote the growth of healthy crops and generally stronger plant yields, they are not without their issues. In this video, we will look at both their good uses and their drawbacks to the environment. So, why are they important? Well, the obvious and short answer is that they are important for crop growth. There are certain ions, those are potassium, phosphorus and nitrogen, being the key three, and you may have learnt about KPN or NPK fertilizers in biology, named because of the presence of the three element ions, that are important to plants, and the concentration of these in the soil decreases over time, basically because they are being used by the plants. Hence, adding fertilizers replenishes their concentrations. It's important that, so they can be absorbed by the plants, the ions present are water soluble, and so we need ions within the fertilizers that fit that criteria. So then, important to ask, what nitrogen ions do fit that criteria, and what do we need to do in order to make them? Well, the important ones are ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate. Ammonium nitrate is produced by reacting ammonia in solution with nitric acid, as set out in this reaction here, which as you can see is irreversible. Ammonium sulfate is produced by reacting ammonia with sulfuric acid. This is set out in this second reaction, this one here, which as you can see is also irreversible. In the lab, we make ammonium sulfate by a titration. But this is a much more complex process when done in industry. As an aside, you also need to know how to make nitric acid, although this is a strong acid and is not used as a fertilizer because it will kill the plants. This occurs, as you can see here, when ammonia is reacted with oxygen to produce both nitric acid and water. The formula for nitric acid can be seen in the first reaction, and that last reaction is HNO3, and you need to learn this. The benefits of such fertilizers kind of go unspoken. As already mentioned, nitrogen is a very important mineral for plants, and hence its use in fertilizers promotes healthy crop growth, which in turn means that more food is grown and more people are fed. And this is a very good thing, not just for the consumers, but for the farmers. As well as this, they replenish the natural iron concentration in the soil after this has been disrupted by extensive agriculture, plants being grown, meaning more plants can be grown as a result. A major point of problem with the use of fertilizers comes with the fact that they're often manufactured using, for example, petrol, which is obviously in itself, before we even get on to the problem with the fertilizers themselves, greenhouse gas emitting. The fertilizers may contain a very high volume of nutrients, which is in itself a very good thing. However, these may also be released into the environment, which is a major environmental concern, because these may contaminate water supplies. When they enter these water supplies, they promote algae growth on the top of the water. And this algae growth basically starves the water of oxygen, which leads to the death of natural plants and animals in the area. This in turn will decrease biodiversity, and such a decrease in biodiversity is never a good thing.